Hello and welcome to the Beyond Borders podcast. I'm your host, Neil Howard. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be speaking with Derline Perez. She's joining us here from 611. Thank you so much for joining us, Derline.
Thank you, Neil. And thank you for having me today.
Here on the Beyond Borders podcast, we try to show the benefits of outsourcing, through and in the Philippines, and how companies can grow and gain momentum through outsourcing. You are with 611. Give us a little bit of background information. Let's start out with a little bit about you and how you got into outsourcing.
Okay, sure. So my name is Derline Perez. I'm one of the operations manager of 611 and been in this industry for 15 years. So basically, my role is to oversee a back office cluster at a high level management. So honestly, Neil, I'm pretty much amazed actually in how BPO evolved in time. So 10 years ago, businesses only outsource voice accounts like customer service, telemarketing. And, as innovation and diversity took place, most of the businesses right now, or a large corporation is now outsourcing back office. So, such as talent acquisition, workforce management, payroll, inventories, and even billing. And so basically, I handle those large number of employees who does that in 611.
You talked about the evolution of outsourcing, offshoring. It's my understanding that basically, the call center was all anyone really knew about or thought about. But you just mentioned that there's so much more involved now with outsourcing based on the efficiency and the benefits.
Yes. So basically 10 years ago, some corporation or small enterprise business, they tend to hesitate really to outsource back office because, sometimes they just simply hire a front desk or someone in-house to do their payroll. But as BPO are growing right now, they sometimes forget the idea, why don't they outsource back office? Because it's a lot cost saving in their end. So let's, for example, hiring an accountant in-house is much more higher in terms of costing, right? Because you're paying a high degree employee, high caliber employee. Yeah. But in outsourcing perspective, you're cutting half of the compensation you are paying for and BPO companies because they simply hire a regular employees, but who does the payroll?
You don't sacrifice that, as you say, high level of skill. You simply have that high level of skill with someone who specializes in just accounting or IT or whatever.
Correct. So that's cost saving for a company to hire in-house. I'm not really saying that we are really stealing the job of the professionals, but in terms of a business perspective and cost saving, so, they can outsource back office now on a BPO, especially in 611, as what I've mentioned, I'm one of the operations manager and substantially most of my cluster is handling back office. That includes talent acquisition, payroll management, billing, and workforce management also. So those kind of tasks, normally it's been handling in an in-house perspective in a company, but having outsourced company to handle those tasks is a lot of cost saving on their end. In terms of quality in 611, our slogan is always we provide quality the first time every time. So, we always deliver what is required from the client. And in terms of the client's perspective, if they are still hesitant or they don't have idea what to outsource in terms of back office, 611 already establishes a process and how we can identify what areas or processes of the clients that we can streamline and remove redundancy on the processes. And, we are just not limiting by executing the task of the client, but rather we want to be part of the business where we also give inputs on how we can strategize or eliminate redundancy.
Isn't a bit of redundancy necessary on your part as the BPO to make sure that things go smoothly in case of an emergency or something like that? Have you removed the need for redundancy from your client and taken on that responsibility yourself?
redundancy sometimes is part of the process, but what I meant for that is redundancy in terms of BCP. It's part of the business that we ensure our clients that we have a redundancy, let's say, of sites. We have redundancies of hyper internet provider. So redundancy of that is part of our BCP, but in terms of the processes, what I mentioned about redundancy is, some of the clients is the tasks that they are delegating, they don't sometimes identify that there is a redundancy on the processes, let's say for quality check. So for, let's say, some processes or meeting frequency of the meetings or steps on SOPs. So that's where we help or provide inputs to the clients to remove redundancies on certain processes that we think no longer essential.
Would you say that the back office functions, the back office processes are difficult to navigate from a cultural standpoint when you have clients all over the world?
Well, for me right now, I don't think there's any more barrier to it in a cultural manner, because back office right now, it's purely just a simple tasks to be outsourced. Once you have all your KPI and processes, it's just simply easy to provide it to a BPO, because BPO will just actually execute and deliver what's required or deliverables on their end. So in terms of, I'm not sure in terms of the culture, but, I believe right now as innovation took place and diversity, I believe we cut that barrier already. So we are purely, once we outsource, we are purely looking at productivity and KPI compliance, nothing beyond that.
Is there anything that you'd like to add? And then give us contact information, website, and how people can get in touch with you and learn much more about 611.
You can always reach us from or check our website. It's www.611bpo.com. So just to tell you a quick overview about 611. Well, 611 is the first locally owned call center in Davao. So we are now operating on our 17 years, and we're about to celebrate our 18 years this coming June. So basically, we just started with a handful of people, and I believe we just started with 20 employees, and now we are growing so fast. Now we have 3,500 seats all across four operational sites, and we have also upcoming satellite sites from different cities. So in terms of back office to our client, we handle a large back office support. So 611 provided a lot of services from different industries like medical, health providers, e-commerce professional, practitioners, real estate, telco, digital marketing, even ride-hailing services from small, medium to, big enterprises. So for back office support, we have, if you are a small business who wanted to outsource your back office, we already have a processes to where we can suggest to you and how you can start delegating your back office and administrative tasks to a BPO concept. So on that matter, we are ready to basically, have a discussions and how we are going to help your business as well to cut down some cost, and why not, transfer it to 611 located in Davao, but we also have upcoming sites on Cagayan de Oro, that's in Mindanao side. So we are cultivating a homey environment in 611. So, based on my own experience, I've been here for 15 years. So on our retention, we always take good care of our employees. So that's why it resonates also on how we provide quality to our clients. If you want to reach us, always check 611bpo.com.
611bpo.com.
Correct.
Derline, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for joining us here on Beyond Borders.
Yes, you're welcome, and a pleasure.
You've been listening to Beyond Borders. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Derline Perez of 611. Find out more at www.verticalinternetmedia.com and learn more about our BPO services at outsourcingfit.com.